The storm over Tirupati laddus allegedly being contaminated by animal fat triggered outrage and panic amongst lakhs of devotees across the country. Questions were raised about the purity of laddus, pedas and other prasad that we offer in temples, consume ourselves and share with our family and friends. Is your laddu and prasad safe? Over a 3-week period, India Today reporters conducted a pan-India reality check on the quality of desi ghee laddus and prasad sold outside prominent temples. Our first stop was the Tirupati temple. Here is part 1 of Operation Laddoo.
A sample packet of the world-famous Tirupati Laddu Prasadam was procured and seal-packed along with the other samples from Mathura and Vrindavan. We deposited them at the Sri Ram Institute for Industrial Research. The aim was to check for the quality of the ingredients and the purity of the desi ghee used in making these sweets. But first, a look at what the Tirupati Laddu controversy was all about. Why did it create such a big uproar? And how the claims and counterclaims reached the highest court of the country? And the current status of the case. On September 18th, Andhra Pradesh CM Chandrababu Naidu alleged that Tirupati Laddus were contaminated with animal fat. He said animal fat was used in the laddus during Jagan Reddy government's tenure. This sparked a huge political and religious controversy. The matter reached the top court, which rapped Naidu for going public without conclusive proof. Justice B.R. Gawai remarked, "Gods should be kept away from politics." The next hearing in the case is slated for November 22nd. Politics apart, it was a lab report from the National Dairy Development Board that had created a storm in the minds of devotees. This is what it said. NDDB CALF lab report said foreign fats present in Tirupati Laddu sample. Report said the foreign fats included palm oil and potentially animal-derived fats. Report said animal fats in ghee samples likely to be beef tallow and lard. Report raised concerns about contamination of Tirupati Prasadam. Given this huge controversy over the Tirupati Laddus, we submitted these samples at the Sri Ram Institute on October 17th. The samples were weighed and details such as the nature of the sweets and the place of their origin were noted and documented. The test report of these samples came out after a week. So who passed and who failed? Let's hear it from the lab director.
ये तीनों नमूने लड्डू के, 2 लड्डू के और 1 पेड़े का, ये तीनों जो हैं देसी घी से ही बने हुए थे और ये पूर्णतया सही थे। एनिमल फैट से कोई भी चीज़ अगर बनाई जा रही है तो ये एक रिलीजियस एक्टिविटी को लेकर अगर देखा जाए तो वो हम ये नहीं कहेंगे कि वो हानिकारक है, लेकिन वो हमारी आस्था को कहीं न कहीं पर से कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर रही है।
So according to the report of the Sri Ram Institute, the Tirupati Laddu and the 2 samples of laddus and pedas from Mathura, Vrindavan, had passed the tests. The desi ghee used in making them was fine. There were no impurities or any trace of animal fat present. But the fake Amul ghee sample from Hathras had no trace of desi ghee in it. It was a mixture of vegetable and refined oils. With Sushant Mehra, Bureau Report, India Today.
The second phase of India Today's Operation Laddoo was even more meticulous. This time, we decided to test Laddoo samples from the capital's prominent temples and sweet shops that sell prasad to devotees. Here's what Ashutosh Mishra found.
Equipped with modern sample collection kits, 2 lab experts from the Sri Ram Institute accompanied our reporter and camera crew to 4 locations in the national capital. Our first stop was the famous Jhandewala Mandir in central Delhi. The temple does not allow sweets from outside, but devotees still buy the prasad from the shops outside the temple to feed the poor or take it home. At this shop, the woman at the counter flatly said they did not make their sweets in desi ghee. All her items were made in vanaspati ghee.
डालडा घी मतलब वनस्पति घी कौन सा है?
उसमें मुंह नहीं है, अंदर भी प्रसाद नहीं करता आपका।
ठीक है, तो ये आपके यहाँ खुद बनता है या
डालडा रिफाइंड?
डालडा वाला कौन सा है? डालडा मतलब वनस्पति, दोनों मिक्स करके बनाते हैं। इसमें रिफाइंड और वनस्पति।
Seeing the TV mic and camera, this shopkeeper spilled it all out. He said his laddus and other sweets were not made in desi ghee. He only used vanaspati and vegetable oil. He was okay with us taking a 250-gram sample for testing, as long as we did not show his face. Our next halt was the famous Hanuman Mandir in the heart of Delhi. Since we were inside the temple complex, we could not take our camera closer. But as you can see, we managed to get a sample of the Shuddh Desi Ghee ka prasad from an outlet within the temple's boundary.
भैया लड्डू क्या है? देसी घी वाला शुद्ध है?
सब देसी का जो शुद्ध
हाँ, तो दे दो फिर।
1 किलो?
नहीं, 100 ग्राम दे दो फिर।
कौन सा वाला?
देसी घी का जो शुद्ध वाला वो देना। ठीक है।
To make the sampling broad-based, we bought half a kilo of ghee from a big dairy product shop in Ashok Vihar. We kept the camera outside so that the shopkeeper does not get alarmed. The desi ghee sold here is 850 rupees per kilo. The last sample we collected was from a famous sweet shop in Vijayanagar, a middle-class residential colony. Manohar Cakes claims its sweets are made in pure desi ghee. We pretended we were doing a story on how shops are being decorated for Diwali. We took a 250-gram sample of bundi laddu made of desi ghee from here. The samples collected from 4 locations in Delhi were taken to the Sri Ram Institute for testing. The institute took a week to give out the test results. And here is what the report says.
हम ये बताना चाहेंगे कि जो 3 बूंदी के लड्डू थे उसमें से 2 सैंपल जो थे प्योर घी के थे, मतलब देशी घी के थे, और एक लड्डू जो है वो डालडा यानी हाइड्रोजनेटेड वेजिटेबल ऑयल से बना हुआ था। इसके मतलब वो देशी घी का नहीं था।
As Dr. Das says, the largely good news for Delhiites is that no adulteration has been found in any of the 4 samples. The laddu samples from Hanuman Mandir and the sweet shop in Vijayanagar have used pure desi ghee. The ghee sample from the dairy shop is also pure desi ghee. That leaves the laddus from the Jhandewala shop. Here too, the shopkeeper had accepted he only used vegetable oil and vanaspati ghee. So in that sense, there was no other adulteration in it. With Ashutosh Mishra, Bureau Report, India Today.